Hi everyone, we are the Astrotech group, and today we'll be going through Project Leveling, Assignment 8. And my name is Kayla McDonald, and I'll be going through this project with my lovely team members. So first things first, we'll be going through the table of contents. We'll start off with the executive summary, talk about our leveling results, hiring, firing, and also go through our budget. So we found a few vacancies in the schedule that can maximize the allotted hours within a week. Overall, this just decreases the need for hiring and firing unnecessarily and is more cost effective. Resource loading has helped us smooth out workloads and avoid peaks in labor demand. Instead of overworking the team on certain days and underutilizing them on others, we have redistributed the hours more evenly across the week. This approach promotes better efficiency, reduces team fatigue, and avoids rushed work that could lead to mistakes or rework. In our project, leveling extends to slightly 7 weeks, but it got our costs down roughly $32,000. By comparison, the crashing schedule would reduce this timeline by just 1 week to 16 weeks, but at a much higher cost of around $82,000. That's an increase of over $50,000 with a little time saved. Crashing may seem appealing when we're focused on shortening the timeline, but in this case, the cost heavily outweighs the benefit and it will require us to bring in more workers quickly or pay for overtime, both of which add pressure, increase risk, and inflate the budget. In a scenario where time is saved, minimal crashing simply isn't worth the trade off.
Hello. So these are just the results of our leveling exercise. This will show you the bar graphs regarding our unskilled hours. This is mostly due to the variance that we're seeing was mostly adjusted for our unskilled hours, and this is where we had a lot of our unskilled labor being throughout multiple weeks and being underutilized. Here on the left, you're seeing the pre-leveling, and this is our initial schedule. The one on the right is our total unskilled hours during our post-leveling exercise. And the graphs are subtly different here, but the 11 graph indicates that we are pushing activities that can be expedited forward. So the graph on the right is a lot more higher peaks, but also less of the lower peaks, such as week 16 and 17, where instead of having those underutilized hours, and we can just have no hours there and push the schedule forward a little bit. This allows for activities to occur simultaneously. We'll have less gaps in our schedule where we're underutilizing our labor, and we're able to shorten the work weeks possible. So overall, our leveling activities decrease the schedule by 3 weeks and decrease the overall cost. Next.
Yeah, and one of the main spots that we see a decreased cost is with our hiring and firing. So the way that we treated leveling was to kind of smooth out where we were hiring and firing people by making everybody work 40-hour weeks, whereas before we had a lot of weeks where a skilled worker would be working 13 or something like that. And so we'd have to hire them for a very short period of time, and then we'd have to let them go the very next week because then it'd take 2 more weeks before they'd come back and do any further work. So by making it to where everybody was working normal 40-hour weeks, that's how we lost the 3 weeks that we were able to delete, which were weeks 3, 17, and 20, reducing us down to 17 weeks total. It also helped smooth out our hiring and firing process as we were able to keep a pretty consistent trend of how many people we needed in any given week. We were able to stay pretty stable throughout the middle part, only losing people every once in a while and only gaining people every once in a while. This overall decreased our hiring and firing by about 20-something thousand dollars, as you can see there. Next slide, please. Cool. So this is where our total budget ends up. So we kept the crashed one in here and the original one so we can see the differences between them all. The original budget, our labor ended up slightly more expensive due to the little bit of overtime that we had calculated into there. And the main savings, as I said before, was with the hiring and firing. Whereas if you compare it even to the crashed, we end up saving far more money. We are over $100,000 less than the crashed budget. And all that the crashed budget gains us is one extra week saved. So it's definitely worth it to have tried to do this leveling out where we make sure that people are working consistent work weeks rather than scattered out working single digit hours randomly throughout, and we have to hire and fire them constantly. Um, so we definitely see the value in leveling rather than crashing or just taking our original estimates.